Job searching is the worst. And if you are job searching right now, or if you've ever job searched, you know that process is long, it's tedious, it's almost disheartening sometimes, and it can just go on forever. But there are right approaches and there are wrong approaches. So in today's video, we are talking about what to do when you're approaching talent management or recruiters on LinkedIn. When you're job searching, you're trying a million different strategies. And one of those strategies should be reaching out to talent management and recruiters on LinkedIn. If you guys didn't know, recruiters actually have special modifications on LinkedIn, and they can see profiles in almost a different way. You can actually set job preferences to your profile and set that as recruiters being able to see that. So you can set that as recruiters only can look at your profile and know that you're looking for a new job or a new position. And that's such a helpful tool. So A, if you didn't know about that, there you go, you know about it now. And B, this is very important. Next, why is it important to talk to talent management and recruiters? Because they are, of course, the ones recruiting for the jobs that you possibly want. So it's very helpful to talk to recruiters, and they usually have the direct contact of the hiring manager or of the HR of the company if they don't directly work for that company. And again, have kind of that direct contact for who you want to be talking to hopefully get XYZ position. So when you are curating your message and you're reaching out to these recruiters, what do you want to be saying? How do you want to be doing that? That is what we're talking about today. So the first thing you want to do is to create unique messages. And moreover, you want to curate human-like messages. You have to remember that the people that you're messaging, the recruiters, the talent management, whoever you're talking to on the other side of the screen is human. I know when I get robotic messages that seem copy and pasted, I'm automatically turned off in regards to my response to that person. I know that they didn't put in the time to actually talk to me. They're just looking for something for themselves, and that's fine, but it, again, automatically turns me off to respond to that person. So you don't want to be that person that shows up in someone's inbox and that's their initial reaction. It's extremely evident when you do copy and paste, and I'm not saying that you can't copy and paste some portion of the message, but again, make it human-like. Actually curate the message like you're having the conversation. If it helps you, have the conversation out loud. Read it out to someone or just read it out to yourself. See if that seems normal to say, human-like to say. Assess if that message sounds nice to actually receive. And again, make sure you have that in mind, because that's truly how you're going to get people to respond to you. Be unique, be personable, be real, and make that person actually want to talk to you. Make them interested in talking to you because of your opening message. That should be your number one goal. Now, the second thing you want to do is be clear. Don't beat around the bush. All of us reach out to people usually when we want something, and everyone knows that. So don't act like you're not doing that. I think that's also a turnoff. If you are beating around the bush and not really getting to the core of the message, that's kind of also a sign of not being so real. If you want something, just say that. Say, hey, I'm reaching out because I am wondering about this, because hey, I'm looking for a job, because this, because that. Whatever it is, lay it out so that they don't have to assume that. So they don't think that, oh, this person is giving me all this fluff, but what they essentially want is this. You want to be nice, you want to be personable. Yes, your opening message should be something along the lines of, I hope you're doing well, etc., etc. But again, get to the meat of the message as soon as possible and be as direct as possible. Now, the next thing to do is be clear in what type of role you want. Especially if this is a recruiter that works with multiple different companies and with different roles, it's really important to highlight to the recruiter, this is exactly what I'm looking for in a role. If there are some pieces that you're flexible about, whether it's the pay, whether it's the job title, whether it's the job position, whether it's the location of the job, company, whatever it is, let them know that. You can say that, hey, I'm completely flexible in terms of location. I have no preferences. I'm willing to be wherever the job is, but these are my preferences. Again, that makes it easier on the recruiter to find that exact position that might be good for you, and also let them know that, hey, I'm flexible in these areas, and that will, again, make it easier for them to look for positions for you and match them with you. The main point here is clarity. You're reaching out to someone who doesn't really know you, so you have to highlight exactly what you want, and again, be clear in terms of what role you want, because they're going to bring you roles, and if you're not clear as to what you want, the recruiter will bring you roles that you don't even like. This has happened to me before. I have been not so specific in some situations, and that is exactly what happens. These recruiters don't know, and how should they? They don't really know you. They don't know what you want, so you have to lay that out for them as clearly as you can. Next, the most important thing to do is setting up time to actually speak with them. This opening message is great. You've been clear about what you want, what type of role you want, and why you're reaching out to them. Now ask for some time on the phone. I think that those conversations go so much better. It's so much easier to speak to someone and, again, get to know them a little bit over the phone and kind of gain the trust of that recruiter. Doing everything through messages is just not the most ideal way. So once you've laid out why you've reached out, what you're looking for in a specific role, and just be like, hey, if you have any availability in the next week or two for a 30-minute block, I'd love to jump on a call with you and discuss more about my background and what I'm looking for. Again, this gives more incentive for them to respond, and you're gonna have a more real relationship with this recruiter because you'll be talking to them on the phone. I think most people do prefer phone conversations, and in a professional setting, it is the best way to go about things. So again, normalize that approach if you haven't already. The last thing to do, and it's important to do this with not only recruiters, but everyone you kind of come across professionally, make sure to follow up and keep in touch. If they don't respond, you can send a follow-up message. If you end up speaking on the phone and things don't work out, or even if you end up speaking on the phone, you go through the process, you interview for a few different roles and things don't work out, still follow up, say, hey, thank you so much for your time in this and this and this, and keep in touch. Because even if it doesn't work out, these recruiters, talent management, anyone in your professional network is always going to bring some value, and it's always worth your while to not only keep them in your network, but keep in touch and actually follow up on these things. This takes effort, but it's so well worth it, and this is exactly how you get quality networking out of these types of situations. So that last piece of keeping in touch and following up is very, very important. How I actually do this is I have a spreadsheet of people who I have a direct relationship with. This is only because I have Dory-like memory. It's not to have a database of everyone I know. It's just because I want to make sure that I don't miss anyone. I don't add everyone to this list. It's only people who I genuinely have talked to, know a little bit about me, and hopefully I've curated some kind of relationship with them to, again, then contact them in the future. That's my approach to it. You might have a handwritten list. You might just have spectacular memory and can just remember everyone. That's great too. But again, that's just how I do it. Overall, those are my tips for you when reaching out to recruiters or talent management on LinkedIn. I am always so for any communication via LinkedIn, networking, cold messaging, whatever it is, including to recruiters. So I think that this is very, very important. And I have done this myself during my job search. This was a key factor in my job search. Again, curating those relationships with these recruiters is very, very important. I hope this was helpful for you guys. As always, if you guys have any follow-up questions, please feel free to email me. My email is in the description bar below. You guys are always great about actually emailing me, having conversations, and it is my daily objective to stay on top of my emails and my comments, so definitely reach out. I will for sure get back to you, and we can go from there. Lastly, if you like the hoodie that I'm wearing, it says Eat, Sleep, Pharmacy, Repeat. I have this and many other designs in all kinds of colors on my shop, so the link to my store is down in the description bar below. Feel free to check it out. That is it for today's video. I hope this was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you guys will see me in the next one.